Hi, everyone. Welcome to Career Conversations. I'm Meera Jogasundram, and our guest today, Ranga Iyer. She loves being surrounded by words. One reason she chose to become a writer. After working at several jobs related to customer service, including restaurants, call center, photo studio assistant, and retail, Ranga decided to devote her time and attention to writing. Currently, she is working on her novel, a tale based in remote rural India, and it's all about a rags to riches story. Ranga's current goal is to serve the art because she believes this is a gift bestowed upon her by nature and should be showered with the utmost respect. Besides her day job in various industries, she has also contributed articles and blogs as a freelancer to websites and magazines. Ranga, hi.
Hi, Mira. Thank you so much for having me on this. And wow, what an introduction. Well, thank you. I'm not too sure, like such a long one. I'm just thinking, like, wow, have I done all those things? But it's a pleasure to be, being part of this conversation. Really appreciate you for having me on the show. Thank you so much. And
You're
for the
very
lovely
welcome.
introduction.
You're very welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you on board as well. Ranga, please tell us about your career journey.
Oh, Mira. Okay. So, you know, I have the first thing is I'll make this for the record. I always wanted to be a writer. I have no idea why. Even as a young person in school, I wanted to. But then, I even graduated in arts, literature. Then life happened. I took up many jobs, including, as you mentioned, retail, restaurants, call centers, customer service jobs, mostly. And I really enjoyed those interactions. Uh, so I really had fun meeting people, talking to people, and doing all kinds of things. So that journey, I was almost on that journey for, let's say, mm, so say about 25 to 30 years, because I was,
Wow.
yes. And the other, no, I would say 30 years customer service, but 10 years in the media, like being part of newspapers, daily newspapers, and writing articles for newspapers in India and Dubai. So basically, these places I worked as a journalist. Then after moving to Canada, I did a bit of transition, went back to customer service jobs. While I was working as a customer service person, I the passion for writing did not leave me. It always stayed with me, like close to my heart, and I would try and find time. So I started contributing articles, blogs to local websites, newspapers, etc., as a freelancer while also working on my other jobs. So I think while it was like 90% customer service, 10% writing, finally it came to, like internal clash, as you say. I just wanted to like ask myself, how happy are you doing what you're doing? Because you're neither being a full time and passionate customer service, nor you're giving enough time to your writing. Then some kind of a self realization, and I said, okay, let me give it a try. And then I said, let me plunge myself into writing completely and then see what happens. So this is what I'm doing now. And the novel had been like, on and off, writing a bit here, writing a bit there. But I would say the past 1 year, I seriously started writing, really writing, and trying to finish the novel. So I had this idea about what I wanted to write. So I just imagined, visualized chapter by chapter, and created like n number of words. Finally, it was done. So, and now I'm reworking, kind of. The draft is done. This is the third draft. Each novel goes through a couple of drafts before you actually are ready to give it to somebody. Okay, can you take a look at it? So this is what is happening. While I'm working on that, I already have started other two books. So in short, I would like to summarize my career as something, as that part of my life where I was with call centers and customer service. I think that journey is over. But I'm also a person who says never say never, kind of a person. You never know, right? You'll say, no, I'm good. You never know. But as far as I'm concerned, that story is done. And I totally am now into writing. And hopefully, in a year or two, I'll have my books out there and people might find it interesting and maybe give it a read. I don't know.
I'm sure they will find it interesting. And thank you for a very succinct description of your career journey. Let
Thank
me
you.
ask you, at which point did you know that you want to become a writer?
Okay. So, in life, we always have this kind of a feeling that you're not somewhere, but you don't know where you want to be. But you know that where you are, this is not where you want to be. It is some other place. It's not even like this is not me. While I was doing the customer service, I felt it's all me, because I'm so comfortable talking to people. I'm kind of a people's person too. So I think it's kind of a split personality. I don't know what you call that, because when I'm with people, I like being people. When I'm not, I'm just isolated and I would be like, I don't want to. So I think the writer part kicked in. When I lost my job, uh, it was like a big layoff. Companies were laying off and my company laid me off. So I said, you know what? And I got the time because I did not leave. So I was laid off. I'm like, oh, relief. So that kind of gave me, time to think what I really wanted, because I had put so much of my hopes and everything into the job that I wanted to retire in that job. Then when the layoff happened, I said, okay, here I am. What do I want to do? Get onto the, one more vicious cycle of going back into circles. Every time you find a job, you get laid off or something. I said, no, I'll wait for some time and give some time to my writing. Let me just get that clear. So as I started writing, I got more and more involved. Then I stopped looking for jobs actually. So the point came after 2, 3 months of writing and looking for jobs. Then I said, you know what? I think I have found what I want to do, and I'm not going to apply for jobs anymore. And I stopped applying and just fully focused on interacting with other writers, trying to, network, and all those things started happening. So that was the point when I got laid off. I said, after a few months, I said, this is what I want to do. And I always had that thing, like reading and writing, writing and reading, and always that dream back of my mind was there. But recent times it just came to the forefront and said, you know what, you have to do this. And that's how I'm here today.
So, from what you're saying, it sounds like life steered you in this direction.
100%. 100%. It just showed me, like, a parent will show a pinky and say, hold it and come with me, walk with me. So I think that happened with me. It just steered me towards, it nudged me actually. It said, you know what? Knock, knock. Why don't you think of this? I'm like, oh, but I always thought, I said, no, think deeper. Maybe you need to do this. Because, as you get older, you're so set. You say, I have always been doing, but not much of an outcome. What have I done, And writers have a bad rep. They don't make big money, etc. So unless you're like really, really become huge or something. So you always keep that back of your mind, like, oh, you know what? I think that happened, and life just said, then I said, oh, life is telling me something. I have to pay attention and listen to it. And also, this thing about Mira, art is always fascinating. Creating something is fascinating, and I have been enamored by art and creativity because even everyday life, when we cook, we get creative. So, everyday life. So, I said, what can I do? Because writing has stayed with me, it has been a constant with me through all my ups and downs. It has been a constant. What do you do with something that has been so loyal and constant with you, throughout? You decide it is time that you serve that loyal person. It's also a retail thing, right? Any loyal customer, they get served by. So I said, I have to serve art and creativity now without thinking how it is going to help me, where the money is going to come from, how am I going to do all this. So when you start serving, you don't think those things. It's not a manipulation or a calculated move that you do. You just take the plunge. You just leap of faith, as they say. You just get there and try to do the best. So I'm giving my best, and also the thing, like, if you are doing your duty, like really being honest and sincere and giving it all, some result will come, even if it is failure, like, then failure is also a result, so you will know it is a failure. So that is what I'm doing. So somewhere I know that it is going to end in a very positive way. The only thing is how long before it reaches that destination. So we never know, nobody knows, right? So all we can do is walk that path, keep trying, and just keep doing what you're doing, and do it to the best of your abilities, and then see what comes.
I love the way you personified writing. To be a loyal person who has been the only constant through your ups and downs. What a lovely personification. And, from what you're saying, um, what you did was follow your heart. And
Yes.
you were absolutely true to yourself. And you're walking the path that is unique to you because you are honoring your authenticity.
Yes, that is, you have put it so well, so apt. The description what you're putting is so apt, Mira. Really, I couldn't have found better words to describe this. It is because, unless you are your true self, it takes years, because you have layers and layers. By the time all the layers are peeled off and you reveal yourself, it takes time. Remember, it life takes time to happen, so I think now it has happened with me, because the authenticity is something I'm able to see, like what I am meant for. Sometimes what we are meant for, we do, and everything falls in place. But that is exactly what, yeah, I'm trying to be my authentic self, and my heart says this is what I am, and I'm really listening to my heart, because I think it knows what it is talking, because it is us, right? The soul is talking to us and the heart is talking. So I think this is what is it. And I feel it in my bones, Mira. It is so, like, I can sense it, and it is like there. So I think this is what you meant. Yeah, then that is what it is, because the heart is saying, and I feel this is my true self, because when I write, it comes so naturally, like the chapters when I'm working, and after writing I sit with myself and I say, did I really write this? I mean, oh my god, how did this come to me? So when you're in that moment, you don't even know that you have these things inside you that you're expressing. When I read the chapters, I'm like, oh wow, who like wrote all this? Did it come out of my mind, my imagination? And that's an amazing part of being a creative person, an artist, because you lose yourself, that you are unable to identify that this is your work because you're so into it, right? Deep into it. It's inner recesses of your mind. It just comes out. And that is what I'm doing. I think serving the art.
Often we take what is second nature to us for granted. What comes so easily to us, we tend to take it for granted. Like writing was second nature to you, it's part of you. It comes so naturally to you, as you said. And it took some time to peel the layers. Another metaphor I love, peeling the layers constructed by society, peeling layer by layer, and then discovering that, okay, this is what I want to do. I got a shock. You disappeared for a moment. You're back now. Okay. So after peeling the layers, you realize that no, this is my authentic self, and I'm going to pursue my passion. I'm going to follow my heart. Kudos to you for that.
Thank you. And I'm sure it's not just me, right? There are so many of us because we get trapped into the, we don't need the education, but we still need the education. Like Pink Floyd put it, right? We don't need no education, but we still need. So we go to school, brick and mortars, do all that. And then suddenly after school, the society says you have to do this, you have to achieve this, you have to do, I don't know, all kinds of noise, so much of noise, that mind chatter, right? And it takes, you collect all that, and then you get into the routine. Like we have four stages, like you have the bachelorhood till 25, then 50s you have the family, and then whatever, right? Forest stage, and then the sannyasa or whatever. So that part you don't realize when you're in the, it's like the hamster. You just keep going because you don't know, you're not listening to yourself. It's all the noise, voices from outside. By the time it goes down, the volumes goes down, it's muted, it's only then you get a chance to really listen to your voice. And I would say this for some of us who grew up in the 60s and the 70s and all that, times were different then. You had to follow certain norms and go by all the societal stuff that one does. I'm positive things have changed now. So this is coming from a person who grew up in the 70s and had to do the regular stuff. By the time it came to actually, they say, what my time or me time these days, right? That concept was so unknown to me, that me time and my time was not known till I turned, like, I think around 57, 58 or something. And by the time I got used to it, and here I am now 60, 61, and I'm thinking, oh wow, finally. So I think, Mira, that is also something my generation will be able to relate to. It does take the conditionings, and then, by the time you do the me time thing, you're there. But it happens no matter what. Life can't stop you from being yourself. It does hand it over to you. It's like, Christmas gifts, like it's hidden till the morning, and then you open it, you unwrap it. So with us, life happens that way. We get to unwrap our gifts. Life gives us the gifts. It's only when you get a chance to unwrap it. That's all.
Beautiful metaphors. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Keep them
Thank
coming.
you.
What challenges did you encounter, Ranga?
Self self understanding the self. There were no barriers for me. And honestly, I had a friend uh, I used to work with. So one time, cooler talks or lunch time talks, she said, every time you talk to me, I see that you're putting your problems on external factors, like all that is outside you. You're saying it happened because of that, it happened because of this, because, but have you tried going inwards? Have you tried looking at yourself? That took me after the my colleague said, a very fine lady and very spiritual. It took me 10 years to understand the meaning of what she meant when she said that to me. It was all my fault. I was not looking inward at all at my deficiencies, what I'm not doing. So the world doesn't stop you. Even if they stop you, you have your inner, strength, inner realization, strong mind. You will be able to fight it out. So it took me long time to understand that it's me I have to fight with, not external. So I had that, and I had to get it out of myself. And I said, you know what, nobody is stopping. Have you seen, I'm very fond of this little analogy. Thing is, there is an elephant, and its leg is tied to a plastic chair, and it just stands there because it is chained. It's just a plastic chair, it can move, but the chain is like the invisible link. It thinks, I'm tied and I'm bound. So we all do that to ourselves, and I did that to myself for so long that I was shackling myself and doing all kinds of things, thinking, oh, if I do this. And the other thing is, people pleasing. Like, you try to be nice to people. You say, hey, let me win a brownie point here, let me win. It doesn't happen unless you respect yourself and stand up for yourself and start, breaking shackles. It will not happen. So you are everything. It is in your hands. You can shape it anytime you want, but the realization has to come from within you. Nobody is going to do that. And no matter what, how many times people tell you, it's like, you pour water over the candle, it'll just keep flowing unless you take it in. So I think I was fighting, my challenges were more with me, within me, inside me, than from the external forces, because I have had supportive people all through my life, family, everything, you know fabulous people, surrounded by fabulous people. But it was just that, imagine having everything going for you and not being able to get to where you want. Then who is the enemy? It is you. So you have to figure that out. Once I figured it out, I'm like, oh my god, how dumb, Ranga. Like, what is wrong with you, really? You have the best of everything and you're still not utilizing it. So we have to find that little thing inside us, Mira, and see who is challenging you, what is stopping you, what is introspection, introspection, introspection. And trust me, we have so much power, nobody, no force can stop us. We are like a person, an individual, a volcano. So if you can stop yourself, and nobody can do anything. You have to let go, that is it. And I feel that very strongly, and very, very strongly.
A lot of inner work you've done, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of inner work. The things you come up with, the analogies, the examples, and your own experience, the conviction with which you speak about discovering your challenges, and the enemy lies within, not without.
True, true, true. You make or break yourself, because nobody has the power to destroy you. Physically, maybe they'll be able to maim you, but mentally, emotionally, if they give setbacks, you have the power to come out of it. So I don't think any external force can stop if a person wants to really achieve something. It might take long. And I think that self realization, if you always think, it's not me, it's someone else, is it happening because of the rain, that is like the weather, or oh this, oh that. No, I have challenges. I have like tremendous, like all of us. I'm not unique. All of us have all kinds of challenges, mental, physical, emotional. We all have. So what? So what? So what? I don't think, because no matter what, the day you give up on your mental strength, you're lost. Think about it, because
Absolutely.
mentally you're strong, then emotionally you can put yourself together. And then once you have these two, physically, you might not be, you might have disability issues, or you might have whatever, but still you can overcome. It's okay, just look at it positively and take on. That's it. So challenges lie within ourselves, Mira. We are our own enemies. It's the enemy within.
How do you stay motivated?
You see how I'm speaking? It doesn't take me long, a lot to just go like
No, it's
overexcited.
okay. You're being yourself, and I love
Yes.
it. You're being authentic, and I love it.
It's just like me. I don't know. I really don't have some kind of a philosophy that I can share with your listeners and your audience. It is just that uh, anything for me, like having a cup of tea at the end of this call, is like, oh, that motivates me. No, I'm looking forward to that. And after I have my tea, what? Oh, you know what? I just saw a jasmine blossom on my windowsill. So that's going to be like, oh my God, the windowsill is like going to be free. So little things, very little things. It takes me very tiny things to get motivated. Of course, when I go down the dumps, I go down, but it doesn't take me long to come back, to bounce back. For me, I think inspiration comes from the family, some friends, uh, and my books, music, and watching comedy. Oh my God, I love watching comedy. I love watching comedy. And I think these are my inspiration. And these are the sources. Anytime I feel depleted, I just go back to those and I feel motivated. And then I'm back to, like, I love writing. I think that keeps me going because I get all these from these sources, and that's enough to feed my mind and then keep working and moving. And if you're talking about motivation connected to failure, reality of life, it's just like you have to take it in your stride, because there will be setbacks, there will be failures, there'll be everything, and it will be a series of failures, and then like they say, a little bit of happiness, that is all. But to get there, you need to do so much, and then again you start all over again. So there are no destinations, like, I'm done with this, so I reached there. No, then you again start a new journey. So I think these are things you take in your stride and just keep going. That's it.
I'm loving everything that you're saying. Now, what
I
would you tell?
hope your audience is also loving what I'm saying.
I'm sure they are, and I'm sure they will be, whoever is going to watch the recording after the live stream. Now, Ranga, what would you tell someone who has encountered a series of failures, uh, rejection, failure, one after another, and the person has convinced himself it will never work? What would you tell someone like that?
So, if I may ask you one thing, Mira, who has not faced rejections? You tell me. And rejections don't say, like, uh, just one time this rejection, after that it will be fine, right? We talk about celebrities, we talk about any person you take, right? Or in my field, like people who send manuscripts to multiple literary agents and publications, they get rejected. Like, I mean, any writer you name, right? Or even when they look for a movie auditions or a job, IT sector they want, or IPS exam like Indian Police Service or Indian Foreign Services or anything, multiple times they get rejected. And then we read about them like, hey, finally there. So it is all about how you take rejection and failure. You want to take it as your stepping stone, or you want to crumble under that mountain, it's up to you. If you make it into a bigger issue, then it becomes a mountain and it will crush you. So rejection, failures, stepping stone or mountain, it is up to you. You want to allow that to crush you, then go for the mountain. You want to use it as a stepping stone, then take it as that. So either ways, it all depends on individual thinking. And trust me, Mira, I'm not saying this for to sound good or something. I live by these things on a daily basis. On a daily basis, I live by these things, because it is up to me how I want to see. The cliched example, half glass, full glass. Very simple. So rejections and failures, it is life is filled with rejections and failures. Trust me, success is very tiny there. It's a process, and your process is filled, that path is filled with rejections and failures. So what do you want to do? You just want to jump to success? No, you cannot reach there. I'm sorry, that is closed. You have to walk this and then go there. And it won't be long for long. It will just be like for a brief thing. Then again, you'll have the series of all that you went through. It
And
is a
that
cycle.
mo
You have to go through it. I'm sorry, but there is no quick fix thing, rejections and failures. No, you have to live that and become stronger, because it does make you stronger. You emerge stronger. So please take rejections and failures in your stride. It will not kill you. Trust me. You can make it. You can reach where you want. If you make rejections and failures your friends, they are your friends in the journey. So just don't ignore them. It's okay. Just embrace them. Tight
oh,
hug.
that's a good one. Embrace rejection and failure as friends and
Yes.
use them to propel you forward in your journey to success.
They are your like travelers, co-travelers, right? Some you like, some you don't like, but you travel with them. So what? It's life. I think everything is part of life, and everything that you encounter in your life is beautiful. If you see it that way, then it is easy. Because every time you reject, you're giving yourself negative energy, right? So much of negativity is saying no, 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 no. Rather say, come on, let's go together, hand in hand. That becomes easy. And that is how I feel. It lightens my burden. At least for me, this works very well. It really works. Getting everything together works for me rather than, pushing. My arms ache when I push too much. I do this. It's better. I save my energy.
Okay,
You see, I don't want to do this. I'll do this.
okay, okay. Absolutely fascinating. Now
Thank
I've got one
you.
I've got one more for you. What would you say to someone who has the belief that have I asked you this question? I tend to, get into this mode when the response from a guest is so interesting, I forget whether I have asked you this question. Have I asked you this question? What would you say to someone who has the belief that I'm too old for this? It's too late for me to do this. I've passed the stage. What would you say to someone who has
Okay.
this belief?
The first thing I'll ask you, I'm making sense so far. Is it okay?
Absolute sense.
Okay. And I think I'm pretty candid, so I don't hold back words, and I just go like brutal sometimes. So when people say that I'm too old to do this, uh, my apologies, audience. Don't hate me for this. Mental laziness, you know, it's mental laziness. Another thing, um, like they say, each decade of your life, you discover something new. We all evolve, right? We all evolve all the time. So, what you were a decade back doesn't seem right now. That means you have to accept the change, right? Because if you are not evolving, life around you is evolving. And if you don't adapt, then you lag behind. And also, These days we don't have the luxury of saying I'm too old to adapt, I can't do this, because look at the social media, everything is out there, and you, if you don't update, it's like what the app that was there day before yesterday, it isn't there today, you know. Like I'm used to Zoom or Skype those days, but today I'm with you on a whole new app. It is StreamYard, which I'm, you know, I figured out. I said, oh, okay, it's similar, whatever, but still different, right? So you can't afford to be like, you know, content. Oh, you don't have to all the time rush after success or money or to do something, but to keep yourself updated. Maybe you don't need to discover a new profession or get into a new career or something, or, you know, find yourself. You don't have to do all that. Just go with the flow, be in tune as what is happening with the current times, stay in touch, evolve as life is evolving, and, you know, adapt. That is it. It is tough, Mira. It is tough, as I'm like, you know, I'm 6 decades in this world now. In my 6 decades, always having to adapt to change, it gets on my nerves. Trust me when I say this, it just gets on my nerves. But then I tell myself, okay, enough of indulging in that, oh, getting on my nerves, now get on with life, you know, and then go back. So this is how I taught myself, from being used to studying in classes, then learning online. I've come a long journey in it, like educating myself, you know. So I feel you need to kind of evolve with the times, adapt with the times, and make sure you don't lag behind. And these days it's pretty easy. You have all the tools. Only thing is, if you have ego, you don't want to ask a younger person, then that's the only thing that can stop you. Or if you're smart enough to figure things out on your own, fantastic. But nothing should stop you because you are of a certain age. I'll give you one example if you allow me and if there is time.
Of course, there's time. Go ahead, please.
I had this gentleman who was 93 years old, okay, a call center job. So I was dealing with telecom and, you know, internet and television, right? So now, you know, television is all gone internet, right? And you have the remote and stuff like that that you program. Trust me, the gentleman, 93-year-old veteran, he tried to understand from the scratch, and I was on hold with him. He learned the whole thing, how to command, you know, voice command, use a voice command to get his programs and, you know, television guide, and then the numbers. He mastered it within 1.5 hours. 92-year old. Now what will you tell me about that? And he told me very frankly that I'm not tech savvy at all. I don't even know how to do so many other things. But yes, I know how to pay my bills on my computer, but I can't use a mobile, you know, smartphone to pay my bills, etc. So just the basics. So you see, if a 92-year-old can do, maybe I didn't meet a person who was 100, but the 92-year-old I have met, and absolute, it was such a joy for me to share my knowledge, because he was also sharing his part of, you know, how he learned and so many things. So you see, what is stopping us? It is just that we don't want to learn, you know. If you're willing to learn, then there are no challenges. No challenges. Any age you can start, at any age you want, as long as you tell yourself it's okay. Don't think I'm already 60, I'm outdated. I'm outdated. I'm 60, I'm outdated. So what? But I'm going to make sure I won't be outdated tomorrow. You know, I'm going to update myself tomorrow. Today I'm outdated, but tomorrow I'm going to update. That's it. Very simple philosophy. Keep life simple. It's really simple. Just be good to yourself and don't have these doubts, you know, self doubts. Don't have them. Don't doubt yourself because somebody is telling you or you're telling yourself. No, it's okay. We all have self doubts. We just have to overcome and go on with it. That's it.
I think, well, I believe, well, I needed to hear that. And I'm sure there'll be viewers who need to hear that, you know, it's like a wake up call from Ranga Iyer. Now, Ranga, what is your definition of owning your career?
Ah, how do I say this, Mira? How do I own my career? Um, I would say one thing is to master what you're doing, be really aware, and if you need to update some of the skill sets that you want, like for instance, when I was into customer service, I had to learn a lot of softwares and stuff like that, right? So you quickly master that. Or if it is like my writing, then I have to learn how to operate on various social media platforms. And each social media platform, you have to have a different language. You have to articulate it in a different manner, how you present it. For instance, X cannot be like Instagram post. The posts have to be different. So I had to teach myself. I'm a Facebook person, or not even the Hotmail kind of a mail person. Then to Google, and then Google Docs. From Microsoft Word, these days everybody is like, just send me the Google Drive. Okay, fine, how do I learn that? So every time, connected to your job, if there are skill sets you have to master, then you have to go and master that. And that way, you really start owning your profession. Not actually owning, but you kind of have a mastery. So when people ask you questions, like, they want to clarify doubts, right? So you are there to help them. So that is how I feel you can own your whatever you're doing at that moment, by keeping upgrading and learning, and adding skill sets to your ever growing there is an ever growing need of skill sets for all careers and all jobs, right? So this is exactly how I would own, by keeping myself, getting upgrades. And I keep constantly doing some course on the or the other, and my favorite is the online courses. There are plenty, and for like $10 and $12, you get to do couple of hours course, and you have a new skill set. And I'm very fond of that. So talking about that, yeah, learning motivates me, Mira. I love learning, so when I learn, it motivates me. So you will find if you see my computer, it will be full of courses. Every time I look for something, at least once a month, I register for something like $12, $14, and I start working on that. So yeah, learning is very important. Adding skill sets is important, so that you own your profession, you own your job, and you own your work. Because when you have knowledge, you feel like, oh, I know, it's mine. So I think that is very important.
Excellent. What's your vision for your writing and blogging journey?
Hmm. Uh, you know, when I honestly look at my writing, I feel I have such a long way to go, because I have my friends, and they have done such fabulous work in the realm of writing, and contributing to literary magazines and writing novels and stuff. I'm nowhere. I'm nowhere close to them, and I feel that it's very difficult journey for me. I have just begun, and that's my vision, to reach a level where others look up to me and say, hey, that writing is excellent. And that is all I have to say. I think this is good enough. I think audience is enjoying a little bit of this, so pretty
I'm
much.
enjoying it. When can we expect your book?
Oh, it's again, I'm thinking in about a year's time, by the end of this year or middle of this year, I'll start sending it around to publications, literary agents, and then take it from there. It's up to them, as we spoke, rejections part of life. I'm not too sure, but if it everything goes well and things pick up, it gets picked up. Hopefully next year this time, or middle of next year, this 2025, I should have a book.
Excellent. And I wish you the very best for that. Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to read your book.
Thank you so much. Yes, I would like that. And, hopefully your audience will remember me and remember to buy the book then, and it'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful.
I'm sure they'll remember, and this the recording of the live stream will be there on all socials, especially YouTube for good, so they can always come back to the recording.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Anything else I can do for the audience, Mira? It was wonderful, wonderful
Yes.
talking to you, and I really had such a great time. I don't know if I made sense, but I spoke so much. Oh my
Oh,
God.
you made a lot of sense. How does
Thank
it
you.
feel to finally pursue your passion for writing?
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to do that. Thank
How
you.
does it feel? How does it feel to finally pursue your passion for writing?
Thankful.
Thankful.
Thankful. Like, it's a chance, right? Life has given me. I cannot I don't have better words really, except thankful and so grateful. So grateful that I'm getting a chance to serve the art. That is it. I really don't know. And I hope I make the best use of it, Mira, because we get opportunities. We don't know, like, if we'll make the best use or not. I hope I do that. I'm blessed enough to do that, I hope. That's all I can ask for, right?
Ranga, it's such a beautiful thing to end a session like this with gratitude. Gratitude is so powerful, and yet it is so simple, and yet we often forget to be grateful.
Hey, tell me about it. It is true. It is true.
And
But
I love, no, tell me.
no, it's as and when we remember, right? It does come to us. Like now, I thought, oh my God, I'm so grateful to life. It's because you kind of nudged that thing, Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to even think of that. So, but honestly speaking, now I realize how grateful I am to life that it made me realize this. And, I really, really hope that I will be able to do justice to this opportunity it has given me. So grateful, really.
You know what, Ranga? I sensed gratitude from the moment you started speaking, with every example you gave on resilience, how you overcame challenges, how you look forward to the small things in life, like having your cup of tea, looking out at the window at the flowers. All those are expressions of gratitude for all the things in life, including the little things in life.
It's the small things that gives you big joys in life.
Absolutely.
Smallest of things give you the best of joys in life. But most of us, we forget and we run after big things, just the small things. And all you need is a little, like, just a little bit of, like, look at it and say, oh wow, this is so nice. It'll give you joy. And once there is joy in your heart, that's it. You don't need anything else. And that's what I feel, because I think I'm also very fortunate that I find joy in these little things. I don't know, maybe it's my mother or my family, we are a very happy family. Like when we get together, it's like a very happy family. I don't know how to say this, but this is the only word that comes to my mind. Of course, we fight. Oh my God, we go crazy, We have the regular family stuff like gossip and whatnot and all the rubbish things. But overall, it's a happy family. We know we gossip about each other, we hate each other, or whatever it is. But the inner, deep most feeling is of happiness. When we talk to each other, when we meet each other, it's like happiness, So that is exactly, I feel, maybe it comes from that. I don't know.
You have talked about your career journey for the past 50 minutes or so. How does it make you feel talking about your journey?
Uh, I have to give back so much now. I have to like bring it to the table, all that I have promised. And I mean, at least shared, not promised, at least whatever I have shared, I have to uh, bring it. And, it has to be there, right? Otherwise, people will be like, all talk and no work. So I do hope that I make true of all that I have said. All the values and principles that I mentioned, I live by those. But just the writing part, I'm saying. So I hope I make it true. But trust me, I'm trying. It's not in my hand to publish my book. It's with the publishers and the agents. So just about that.
With your resilience and fortitude, I believe you will.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Means a lot. And wow, I already feel the energy. I'm sure it'll happen. Thank you.
You're very welcome. If someone would like to reach out to you, Ranga, what's the best way to do so?
My social media is there.
It's
Uh,
attached to the post, viewers.
yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. I would say that that is the easiest way to get in touch with me because I'm on social media, and that's the best way. LinkedIn, best way to get to me is via LinkedIn.
You are very active on social media, and I love that. I love that.
I try to, because that also keeps me like, it's my window to the world, and I get to see what the youngsters are doing these days. It keeps me on my toes, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can try this. So social media keeps me on my toes.
You know what I think, Ranga? I think your positivity, your positive energy would certainly rub off on whoever watches this subsequently, or whoever is watching this now. Before we
I will be so happy when that happens. And do keep me posted because I would like to know that. If I'm able to make a difference even for a minute of their lives, I think that is done. My job is done, because that is what you have to be able to reach, you know, to somebody somewhere, right? If I'm able to reach their mind or their heart even a little bit, my job is done.
Beautiful. Now, before we sign off, Ranga, would you like to tell our viewers anything?
Um, just believe in yourself. Just remember not to have too many self doubts, either you yourself or by outside forces. No self doubts, and believe in yourself. And age is no barrier. Just keep going. Just keep going. Everything will be fine. Yes, there will be trials and tribulations and challenges, but life is that. That is reality. You can overcome it. You can. Trust me, you can.
Excellent. A very, very inspiring wake up call kind of conversation it was today.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mira. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you so much, Ranga. Viewers, I I am sure that you have, felt the positive energy from Ranga whenever you get to watch this, or you're going to feel it. I'm sure you're going to feel it if you're yet to watch this. Thank you for joining us. And until we meet again for the next session of Career Conversations. Bye.
Thank you, Mira. Thank you for having me. Bye, everybody. Thank you.